Alright, I believe we're live. Alright, because we should be live. Yep, we are live. So let me go ahead and share out the stream. Alright, make sure to like and subscribe. Alright, I'm live now. Actually, let me go make sure my audio is good. My audio is good. Sounds good. Okay. Alright. Alright, so welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is Sports Talk with JB. I'm Josh Bentley, your host, and I will be picking the 4 playoff teams from each region in Alabama high school football this season. And so sit back and grab your snacks, grab your drinks, because this is going to be a pretty long stream probably. Now, I admit to not knowing as much about North Alabama, so if you do follow Alabama high school football in the North, I would really appreciate the help. But anyways, I've got my Propel water, and I've got a couple of Pure Life unsweetened teas here. One's lemon flavored and one's just regular unsweetened. So I've got plenty to drink. So hopefully this is gonna be a really good stream. Maybe I won't make too many people mad, but without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to start in 1A. Now, 1A Region 1 is it's a very interesting region this year because, you got the addition of Sweetwater on top of Leroy and Milry. So, that's going to be interesting. It's going to be very interesting, actually. Leroy, of course, you're defending 1A state champion from last year. They beat Coosa Christian, who moved up to 2A. We will get to them later. But in 1A, Region 1, you have Fruitdale. And I'm using the official AHSAA website to do these regions. These are the updated regions. I can't use the screenshots on my phone from the AHSAA reclassification show because the regions have since changed in a few classifications since then. But in Region 1, you have Fruitdale, JF Shields, Leroy, Marengo, McIntosh, Milry, Southern Choctaw, and Sweetwater. Now, the 2 teams that stand out from this region, there's 3 teams that stand out immediately. That's Leroy, Sweetwater, and Milry, who have all recently had deep playoff runs. Of course, Leroy is back-to-back defending 1A state champions, looking to make a 3-peat this year. And I'm not going to guarantee it because Sweetwater and Milry might have something to say about it. But my pick to finish first in this region is going to be Leroy. Leroy, I'm pretty sure they returned a lot of players. I didn't have time to research every team in the state of Alabama, unfortunately. If I had that kind of time, then that would be great. But Leroy, I know they returned that running back Malik Howell. I believe he was a junior last year. I think they graduate their quarterback, but they're more of a running team anyway. But yeah, I got Leroy finishing first, and I've got Sweetwater finishing second in the region. And then your third place team, I'm going to say Milry. Now, fourth place could be interesting because I think there's several teams. You've got 5 other teams in this region, but I think 3 of them realistically have a shot, and that's Southern Choctaw, Fruitdale, and Marengo. Maybe McIntosh. I don't know a whole lot about McIntosh, or I know J.F. Shields hasn't been great in a while, but I don't know. They could be improved. I could be completely wrong. So I don't want to insult any team in the state of Alabama. I don't want to insult any team because these coaches and these players put in the work, and every squad in the state of Alabama has talent on the team. So I don't want to insult anybody, but my pick so I have Leroy, Sweetwater, Milry as your top 3 in that order, and then my fourth place team, I'm picking Marengo to make the playoffs as the number 4 seed. So Leroy number 1, Sweetwater number 2, Milry number 3, and then your number 4 seed Marengo. That's my 4 playoff teams, and that leads me over to Region 2. Region 2, there are once again 3 teams that truly stand out, and that is Elba, Brantley, and Georgiana. I guess Florala too is a standout team, and I might have just spoiled my 4 playoff teams already, but hey, not necessarily. But this region consists of Brantley, Elba, Florala, Georgiana, Kinston, McKenzie, Pleasant Home, and Red Level. I know one thing about Red Level. I'm a graduate of Reeltown High School, if you guys didn't know. So I made a disclaimer video, but there could be some bias here. I'm kidding. There is no bias. I'm speaking. I don't want to say straight facts, but I am going to be giving like an honest opinion on all of these classifications, so that there is no bias involved. All right. Now, I think that I know Elba returns Alvin Henderson, who just recently decommitted from Penn State and committed to Auburn. So, good on him to stay in the state of Alabama. I wouldn't want to go up there where it's cold in Penn State anyway. That's what Matt from Locker Room Sports said. Locker Room Sports Talk. Very good friend of mine now. But yeah, Elba returns Alvin Henderson, who ran for over 3,000 yards and I believe 65 touchdowns last year. Now the thing about it, Elba didn't have a single receiver over 100 yards, so I think Elba's going to need to get a little bit better in the passing game this year. Of course, you don't really need to if you've got a running back that can run for over 3,000 yards and 65 touchdowns. But in my opinion, they're going to have to throw the ball maybe a little bit more this year to take some of the load off of Mr. Henderson. But I've got Elba finishing first in this region. And then your number 2 seed, I'm going to go with Brantley. Brantley's always good. You know, they went like 6-4, 5-5 in the regular season last year, and ended up making a 3rd round playoff run where they lost to, I believe it was Leroy they lost to in the 3rd round. So now they did lose their starting quarterback about halfway through the year and got him back towards the end of the year. So that could contribute to some of those losses, but even with their starting quarterback, I'm not sure they were beating Elba last year. Elba was a good team, and Leroy beat them in the semifinals. All right, your 3rd seed from this region, I'm going with Georgiana, and your number 4 seed, I'm going to round it out with Florala. Now, in the playoffs this year, you're going to have Region 1 match up with Region 2, Region 3 match up with Region 4, Region 5 match up with Region 6, and Region 7 match up with Region 8. This is all the classifications 1 through 6A, 1A through 6A. And then 7A, I believe you're going to have 1 versus 3 and 2 versus 4. But anyways, I'm going to get to that 7A eventually. But that leaves my first round playoff matchup. So 1 seed Leroy taking on 4 seed Florala. I'm picking Leroy to win that game. You got a 2 seed Sweetwater team taking on a 3 seed Georgiana team. That could be a good game, but I'm going to go with Sweetwater. You got a 2 seed Brantley taking on a 3 seed Milry. That would be a battle. I would have to go with Brantley to win that one. And then a 1 seed Elba taking on a 4 seed Marengo. I think Elba would run away with that one probably. And so yeah, I'm gonna be predicting like your 4 matchups from each region, each matchup of regions in the playoffs. I'm gonna be talking about your 4 playoff matchups too in the first round. And then at the end of each preview, I'm going to pick your state championship matchup and your state championship winner. Now, Region 3, maybe not as strong as the first 2 regions. The first 2 regions are pretty doggone strong. But yeah, Region 3 maybe not as strong. But like I don't want to disrespect anybody, but compared to those regions, those first 2 regions, this region, Region 3 consists of Choctaw County, Francis Marion, Holy Spirit Catholic, Linden, Pickens Academy, R.C. Hatch, and University Charter. Pickens Academy, of course, a new school to the AHSAA, coming over from AHSAA, which I might do a shorter stream or video previewing AHSAA, but I don't know as much about AHSAA. I admit that. I do admit that. I don't know a whole lot about AHSAA. So, but from this region, I think Linden's probably going to win this region. And then if I had to pick a number 2 seed, University Charter and Choctaw County were both playoff teams last year, and Pickens Academy moving up from AHSAA, moving up to AHSAA. AHSAA is really interesting. So I think for my number 2 seed, I'm going to pick University Charter. They're a fairly new school, I believe. So them hosting a playoff game in the first round would be pretty big for them. And then for your number 3 seed, I'm going to go with Pickens Academy, moving up to AHSAA. And then for your number 4 seed, I'm going to pick Choctaw County. So it may be a little bit anticlimactic, but those are the 4 playoff teams from that region. And then over in Region 4, you got another school moving up to AHSAA, and you got one school reviving their football program that they shut down. I believe during COVID they shut it down, and now they're reviving their football program. So AHSAA Academy is the first team here in Region 4 that's listed, and they're moving up to AHSAA. Then you got Ottagaville, Billingsley, Elwood Christian Academy, who is reviving their football program. They're in Selma, Alabama, if you didn't know. AHSAA Academy, I believe, is in Prattville. Then you have Keith, Maplesville, Notasulga, and Verbena. So once again, a fairly tough region, I would say. With AHSAA Academy has been a very successful AISA program. Keith has been really good these last few years. Maplesville is always good. Notasulga was a playoff team last year. I can't remember. I want to say Verbena might have been a playoff team last year too. So you've got, Ottagaville is going to be better this year. Billingsley, they competed against Montgomery Catholic in the spring game, so that only made them better. So yeah, and Montgomery Catholic is another school that I'll get to later on. But yeah, I'd say this is, from top to bottom, this might be the deepest region in 1A South. But for your number 1 seed, I'm going to go with Maplesville. And then your number 2 seed, I'm going to go with Keith. Your number 3 seed, I'm going to pick Notasuga. And your number 4 seed, moving up to AHSAA, is AHSAA Academy. So those are the 4 playoff teams, I believe. And that leads me to the playoff matchups. So you got a 1 seed Linden taking on a 4 seed AHSAA Academy, which I think, personally, AHSAA Academy could be a tough draw for Linden in that first round. But I think I'm going to pick Linden to win. And then your 2 seed University Charter hosting number 3 seed Notasuga. As a graduate of Reeltown High School, which is in Notasuga, Alabama, I would like to pick Notasuga. And I'm going to pick Notasuga. Notasuga with the upset of a University Charter. University Charter loses. They host their first playoff game in school history, and I've got them coming up a little bit short. But I think this year is going to be a step in the right direction for University Charter. Then you got your number 3 seed Pickens Academy traveling to face number 2 seed Keith. And I've got Pickens Academy coming up short against Keith. Keith is a really good football team. And then your number 1 seed Maplesville against number 4 seed Choctaw County, which that might be I think that was a playoff matchup that happened first round last year. Or maybe the year before that. I've got Maplesville coming up and winning that game. Maplesville, by the way, is going to have... They had a freshman running back. I forgot his name. His name slips me. It was something McCrary. I kind of want to look it up. But look out for Maplesville in the future. This guy could have a impact for Maplesville similar to what Alvin Henderson has for Nehemiah McCary is his name. And that's a good name for a running back. McCary. I'm going to McCary that football. That was the lamest joke ever. But yeah. So he could have a similar impact and could take Maplesville deep in the playoff. And I think, honestly, Maplesville wins a state championship in these next few years with him at the running back position. It would be a shame, like similar to like when they had Terrence, was it Terrence Dunlap was his name? Yeah, I think that's what his name, but similar to that. Like, this guy might actually be better than Terrence Dunlap, so. But yeah, he's really good, and that's going to lead me over to 1A North. Let me get a swallow of drink. If you don't know, I'm drinking out of a Gatorade bottle. I've got a couple of bottles of Propel poured in there. But that's going to get me into Region 5. Region 5. You have Berry High School, Brilliant, Hubbardsville, Lynn, Marion County, Pickens County, South Lamar, and Summerton Christian. This could be a really tough region to predict because you've got several playoff caliber teams in this region. Honestly, pretty much everybody in the region is playoff caliber, if you ask me. But unfortunately, only 4 teams can make it in. So, and for your number 1 seed, a lot of people would pick Pickens County, and I'm picking Pickens County to be the number 1 seed. For your number 2 seed, I've got Lynn. Your number 3 seed, I've got Hubbardsville. And your number 4 seed, I got South Lamar. So those are the 4 playoff teams I got in this region. Pickens County, led by former Alabama and New England Patriots tight end Michael Williams. Pickens County is going to be a playoff contender here in 1A this year, or a championship contender in 1A this year. Almost certainly will be a playoff team. And then moving over to Region 6. You've got Fayetteville, who moves down from 2A, Talladega County Central, Donahoe, Victory Christian, Wadley, Winterboro, and Woodland, who also moves down from 2A, I believe. So 2 schools moving down from 2A into this region. Now, Wadley is the clear favorite for this region, and they're also going to be my number 1 seed. My number 2 seed is going to come down to Winterboro and Fayetteville. And I think this is the year Fayetteville breaks through a little bit. So I'm picking Fayetteville to be my number 2 seed out of this region. Your number 3 seed, I'm picking Winterboro. And then for your number 4 seed, it's going to come down to everybody else. Victory Christian, Donahoe, Talladega County Central, and Woodland. But your number 4 seed, I'm picking Woodland. Well, last time Woodland was in 1A, I think they went like 3-7 or 4-6 in the regular season and ended up going to like the 3rd round of the playoffs, maybe the semifinals. So could Woodland do it again as a number 4 seed? We shall see. So your first playoff matchup is going to be Woodland, the number 4 seed, taking on Pickens County, the number 1 seed out of Region 5, Woodland, the number 4 seed out of Region 6. And I just don't think Woodland just doesn't have the athletes to match up with Pickens County. I think Pickens County wins this game. No disrespect to Woodland. They could very well do it, but I've got Pickens County. Then your number 2 seed, Lynn, taking on your number 3 seed, Winterboro. And I'm actually going to go with Winterboro. Winterboro pulled an upset last year, and I think they pull another upset this year over Lynn. Your number 3 seed out of Region 5, which was Hubbardville, taking on number 2 seed Fayetteville. And Fayetteville, I think you break through and get to the playoffs this year finally for the first time in I don't know how many years now. And you're hosting a playoff game. You're hosting Hubbardville, but I've got Hubbardville beating you in the first round. And then number 1 seed Wadley taking on 4 seed South Lamar. I've got Wadley winning that game. So both 3 seeds from Region 5 and Region 6, the 3 seeds both advance. So they'll be hosting a second round playoff game no matter what. So, hey, either one of those 3 seeds, Winterboro or Hubbardville, are very capable of making a run, in my opinion, as well. So, now moving over to Region 7. This is I'm honestly not sure what area of the state of Alabama this is in. I know a little bit about the teams. And this region consists of Addison, Cherokee, not to be confused with Cherokee County, who we'll get to later. This is just Cherokee. Hackleburg, Meek, Phillips, I guess Phillips Bear Creek, Shoals Christian, Vena, and Waterloo. And the number 1 seed out of this region, I'm picking Hackleburg to win the region. They went on a pretty deep run last year before they lost to, can't remember if it was Pickens County they lost to or if it was Coosa Christian they lost to. It might have been Wadley. It was one of those 3 teams they lost to. I think it was Coosa Christian. But yeah, it was. I think it was Coosa Christian. But I'm picking them as the number 1 seed. Number 2 seed, I'm picking Addison. Your number 3 seed, I'm picking Meek. And your number 4 seed, I'm going to go with Vena. So Hackleburg, Addison, Meek, Vena are your 4 playoff teams from Region 7. Moving over to Region 8, this is a fairly tough region right here. You got Appalachian, Galesville, Ider, Raglan, Spring Garden, Valley Head, and Woodville. And I truly believe any of these teams could be a playoff team. But unfortunately, once again, only half of the teams from this region are going to be in the playoffs. And for your number 1 seed, I'm gonna pick Spring Garden to be your number 1 seed. I'm gonna pick Raglan to be your number 2 seed. I'll pick Valley Head to be your number 3 seed, and I'm picking Appalachian to be your number 4 seed. Appalachian, however you say it. So people pronounce it differently, I believe. But yeah. So that sets up your playoff matchups. Your number 1 seed Hackleburg playing your number 4 seed Appalachian, and I think Hackleburg pulls off the win. I think it's going to be a tough game, very physical football game, but I think Hackleburg picks up the win. Number 2 seed Addison taking on your number 3 seed Valley Head, and I think Valley Head beats Addison. So another number 3 seed advancing. Number 2 seed Raglan taking on number 3 seed Meek. I think Raglan wins that one. And then number 4 seed versus 1 seed, your 4 seed Vena taking on 1 seed Spring Garden. I think Spring Garden gets that victory. And that will lead me into your state championship matchup. Coming out of 1A South, I'm picking Elba to come out of 1A South. I think Alvin Henderson is going to take them all the way to the state championship game this year. Of course, they got a pretty good defense too. I mean, they got a guy like Caden Atkins. I think he plays inside linebacker. That guy's really good too. So they got some guys. They got a very good run game and a very good defense, which is honestly that's a recipe to win a state championship in 1A. So Elba, and coming out of North Alabama in 1A, I'm picking the Wadley Bulldogs. So Elba versus Wadley in the state championship game in 1A. And I've got Elba winning the game. I think Alvin Henderson is just going to be too much for Wadley. And then Wadley, I think the defense is good enough for Elba to be able to make enough plays to stop. Well, I think it'll be a pretty good game. There could be some points scored, definitely. But in the end, I think Elba gets the victory over Wadley. So Elba, I've got them picked as your 1A state champion. Now we're moving over to 2A. And once again, I'm going to keep my bias aside. I'm going to try to keep I don't even have to try. To be honest, if I was an outsider looking in, I would bet that Reeltown would be a really good football team. And everybody knows Reeltown is a really good football. It's going to be a really good football team. I mean, I know Hall Tech Sports had us as the number 1 ranked team in 2A. So yeah, man, we're going to be good. Will we go to state again and win it this year? That remains to be seen in my predictions and, well, on the field. But yeah, Elba takes down Wadley for the 1A state championship. Now, Region 1, we have a brand new football program in Region 1. Bayshore Christian, and they're the first team listed, led by Phil Lazenby, who's a very, very great coach. Great coach and good man from what I understand too. So Phil Lazenby leads the new Bayshore Christian School. If you don't know Phil Lazenby, he was a head coach at Benjamin Russell, took them to 2 state championships games in 97 and 2000, which happens to be the year I was born. And yeah, I was born in 2000. And he was also the coach at Bayside, took them to the state championship game in 2015. So he hasn't won a state championship, but he's been to 3. So the guy knows how to win, and he knows how to get it done, how to get a team there. And the next school in this region is Central Haneyville. And then you got Chickasaw, Clark County, J.U. Blackshear, St. Luke's Episcopal, and Washington County. So coming out of this region, I think Coosa Christian, or not Coosa Christian, Clark County wins this region. They're still going to be a really good football program. And then your number 2 seed out of this region, and I'm actually going to take a quick bathroom break, y'all, and then I'll be back, and give me like 30 seconds. All right, y'all. My apologies. I had to go take a quick bathroom break, but I'm back, and I left off. I had Clark County finishing first in Region 1. And then your number 2 seed, this might be, and by the way, my buddy AJ Renfro did his predictions, and I'm gonna go over his predictions too, as well. I've got Bayshore Christian in their very first year as a school, finishing second in the region and hosting a playoff game in the first round. Very first year as a football, not as a school, but as a football program. Now, they've had a fairly successful baseball and basketball program, I believe. And football, first year, host a playoff game, that would be huge. And then your number 3 seed out of this region, I'm picking Washington County to finish as your number 3 seed out of this region. They made it to the playoffs last year for the first time in a while. They got beat by BB Comer, who eventually, we know, made it to the semifinals. BB Comer, of course, moved up to 3A this year, so we'll get to them later on. And then your number 4 seed out of this region, I'm picking St. Luke's to be your number 4 seed. So 1 seed Clark County, 2 seed Bayshore Christian, 3 seed Washington County, 4 seed St. Luke's. Those will be your 4 playoff teams that I'm predicting in this region. Moving over to Region 2, you have Abbeville, Ayrton, Cottonwood, Geneva County, GW Long, Houston County, Providence Christian, and Sampson. Out of this region, Cottonwood had a really young team last year and made a quarterfinals run. And I'm picking them as my number 1 seed out of this region. Your number 2 seed out of this region, I'm going to go with GW Long. Number 3 seed, Providence Christian. And then your number 4 seed out of this region, I'm going with Ayrton. So now that sets up your playoff matchups. 1 seed Clark County, 4 seed Ayrton. I'm going to pick Clark County to win that game. Of course, Clark County always plays a tough schedule, so they're always battle-tested coming into the playoffs. So, yeah, I'm picking Clark County to win that matchup against Ayrton. 3 seed Providence Christian taking on 2 seed Bayshore Christian, a battle of Christian schools. One was in 3A last year. One is a brand new school. I've got to go with Providence Christian to win this game. So Providence Christian beats Bayshore, but Bayshore, hey, special first season to go to the playoffs in their first year and host a playoff game. I think that'd be huge for Bayshore, but I've got Providence Christian winning that game. Then you got your 2 seed GW Long taking on your 3 seed Washington County. And I've got GW Long winning that game. And then 1 seed Cottonwood, 4 seed St. Luke's. I've got Cottonwood winning that one. That one might have some scoring in it, but I think Cottonwood wins. And then let me go to AJ's text. So in those regions, he had Region 1, he had Clark County as the 1 seed, St. Luke's as the 2 seed, Washington County as the 3 seed, and Central Haneyville as the 4 seed. And then in Region 2, he had Cottonwood as the 1 seed, Providence Christian as the 2 seed, GW Long as the 3 seed, and Ayrton as the 4 seed. So he the only thing that changed in Region 2 with him, he swapped Providence Christian and GW Long. And then in Region 3, he has Highland Home as the 1 seed, Luverne as the 2 seed, Goshen as the 3 seed, and Zion Chapel as the 4 seed. And in Region 4, he has Reeltown as the 1 seed, Lynette as the 2 seed, Ranburn as the 3 seed, and Lochapoka as the 4 seed. Now, Region 3 for me, Region 3 features Barber County, Calhoun, Goshen, Highland Home, Luverne, Pike Liberal Arts, and Zion Chapel. So I think Highland Home wins the region, and I've actually got Goshen finishing 2nd in the region. I've got Luverne 3rd, and I've got Zion Chapel 4th. And then over in Region 4, you got Central Coosa, Horseshoe Bend, Lafayette, Lynette, Lochapoka, Ranburn, and Reeltown. And I've got Reeltown finishing 1st. I've got Lynette as the number 2 seed. I've got Lochapoka as the 3 seed. And I've got Lafayette as the number 4 seed. That sets up your playoff matchups. Highland Home, Lafayette in the first round. Lafayette's got some athletes, but I think Highland Home gets it done, even with a brand new coach. 2 seed Goshen taking on 3 seed Lochapoka. I think that'd be a really good football game. I've got Goshen winning in a very tough, very physical football game. You got your number 3 seed Lynette, or 2 seed Lynette taking on 3 seed Luverne in the first round. And I've got Lynette winning once again a very good football game. And then 1 seed Reeltown, 4 seed Zion Chapel. I think Reeltown wins that one. Reeltown will have the added motivation of Zion Chapel, who they were on our schedule in 2022, and then in 2023 they decided they didn't want to play us, so they didn't want to come to Reeltown. But we are able to beat Zion Chapel in the first round. Moving over to Region 5. Aliceville, Greene County, Isabella, Lamar County, Sulligent, Tuscaloosa Academy, and Vincent. So my buddy AJ picked Tuscaloosa Academy to win the region, Sulligent to finish second, Isabella to finish third, and Vincent to finish fourth. I also have Tuscaloosa Academy finishing as the number 1 seed, and I got Isabella finishing, or Sulligent finishing as the number 2 seed. Your number 3 seed, I've got Aliceville, and your number 4 seed, I've got Isabella. I think Vincent misses the playoffs in a really tough region. I mean, Vincent and Lamar County are both very capable of making the playoffs too, but I've got both of them missing the playoffs. Over in Region 6, you got Cleveland, Cold Springs, Coosa Christian, Faultville, Southeastern, Susan Moore, and West End Walnut Grove. I've got Coosa Christian finishing first in this region. I've got Cleveland finishing second. Shout out to Cleveland head coach Will Glaze. He was my history teacher in 8th grade. So, shout out to him, and good luck on the season. I'm picking you to be hosting the playoff game. Your number 3 seed out of this region, I've got Susan Moore. And the number 4 seed, I've got Faultville. Unfortunately, once again, West End and Southeastern are 2 really good football teams, and I've got them both getting left out of the playoffs. And that sets up your matchups. 1 seed Tuscaloosa Academy, 4 seed Faultville. I've got Tuscaloosa Academy winning. Then you got 2 seed Sulligent taking on 3 seed Susan Moore. I've got Sulligent winning that game. Then you got 2 seed Cleveland taking on 3 seed Aliceville. And I think Cleveland's able to come away with that one. And then you got 4 seed Isabella taking on 1 seed Coosa Christian. And I think Coosa Christian beats Isabella in the first round. So all of your higher seeds advance here. AJ had in Region 6, he had Coosa Christian at number 1, Southeastern at 2, Susan Moore at 3, and West End Walnut Grove at 4. And then Region 7, he had Pisgah number 1, North Sand Mountain number 2, Pleasant Valley number 3, and Section number 4. Moving over to Region 7. So that was his Region 7. My Region 7. Well, first off, the teams in Region 7, Cedar Bluff, Gaston, North Sand Mountain, Pisgah, Pleasant Valley, Sand Rock, and Section. My number 1 seed out of this region is Pisgah, and my number 2 seed is North Sand Mountain, so me and him agree there. My number 3 seed is going to be Sand Rock, and my number 4 seed is going to be Cedar Bluff. Those are my 4 playoff teams for Region 7, which is a very tough region. Region 8, Bell Green High School, I don't think they're going to be fielding a football team this year, so this is going to be a 6-team region. So you only have 5 region games, so most likely you only have to win 2 region games to be in the playoffs here. You got Decatur Heritage, Lexington, Red Bay, Tanner, Tharptown, and Winston County. My 1 seed out of this region is going to be Decatur Heritage. My number 2 seed, Lexington. My number 3 seed is going to be Tanner. And my number 4 seed is going to be Red Bay. AJ picked Tanner to win the region, Decatur Heritage to finish 2nd, Lexington to finish 3rd, and Winston County to finish 4th. I'm picking, alright, so first off, you got 1 seed Pisgah taking on 4 seed Red Bay. I'm picking Pisgah to win that game. 2 seed North Sand Mountain, 3 seed Tanner. I'm going with North Sand to win that game. 3 seed Sandrock, 2 seed Lexington. I'm actually going to pick Sandrock in the upset. And then 4 seed Cedar Bluff, 1 seed Decatur Heritage. A battle of 2 teams that are moving up from 1A. And I'm picking Decatur Heritage to win that one. So 3 teams from Region 7 advance to the 2nd round in my predictions. And that leads me to my state championship matchup. I don't think it's Reeltown, in my opinion, is the best team in 2A. And I would say that as an outsider looking in as well. They are absolutely loaded. If you don't know, I actually do a channel called Rebel Talk with JB. Let me put that in the chat. And I have been doing previews of each position. Now, we had a couple of guys transfer in this week that I didn't get to in the preview. But yeah, Reeltown is absolutely loaded. And they're my pick to come out of 2A South. And my pick to come out of 2A North is Coosa Christian. I've talked with Coach Mark O'Brien on the phone. He's a great guy. I really enjoyed talking to him. I think I talked his ear off, and we will be featuring him on this channel one day. That's the plan. That's the goal, is to feature coaches on this channel. And hopefully I'm not making any coaches mad, but yeah, I've got Reeltown and Coosa Christian playing for the 2A state championship. 2 runner-ups from last year. Reeltown, the 2A runner-up, Coosa Christian, the 1A runner-up. And I've got Reeltown getting the job done to win the state championship in 2A. It's not going to be easy, but I think it's going to be a very good football game, and I think there's going to be a lot of great football games in the 2A playoffs. But ultimately, I've got my Reeltown Rebels coming out on top. And next up, I'll be doing 3A. 3A is going to be another good one. And by the way, Reeltown and T.R. Miller open up at the Crampton Bowl on August 22nd. I encourage the entire Reeltown community to be there Thursday, August 22nd for that game. We're gonna need the support, because T.R. Miller is a very, very, very good football team, and we're gonna see how they're gonna do in my predictions. So, to recap, I've got Elba over Wadley in the 1A state championship game, and I've got Reeltown over Coosa Christian in the 2A state championship game. Those are going to be 2 fantastic matchups. Let's see if 3A provides us a fantastic matchup as well. And shout out to AJ. AJ also picked Reeltown and Coosa Christian for the 2A state championship game. So shout out to my buddy AJ. He helps me a lot with the insight into Reeltown athletics, and eventually I'm probably going to feature him on this channel. He's a referee for the AHSAA, and we will go over some rules and stuff, like some rules that people might not know. Eventually, I want to have him on this channel too, if I can get him on. But anyways, 3A. Last year, well, 2A. I forgot to go over 2A. 2A last year, Fife beat Reeltown in the state championship game. 3A, we had a matchup of my mind is blanking. Madison Academy and Mobile Christian, who both moved up to 4A. So we are guaranteed a brand new 3A state champion this year. But yeah, Mobile Christian beat Madison Academy. I think it was like 55-28 or something like that was the final score. But Region 1, Mobile Christian came out of this region last year. Defending state champion in 3A came out of this region. They moved up to 4A. But you had a couple of really good football teams move down to 3A from 4A. So Bayside Academy was one of them. Of course, their quarterback Sammy Dunn transferred out to Viger. He's a really good quarterback. So, but they do have former Auburn quarterback Barrett Trotter as their head coach. So I'm pretty confident they're gonna still be a really good football team. Then you have Cottage Hill Christian Academy, Excel, Flomaton, Hillcrest Evergreen, Monroe County, and T.R. Miller. T.R. Miller is going to be my number 1 seed out of this region. And then for your 2 seed, I'm going to go with Hillcrest Evergreen. I've heard good things about about the coach there, and I've heard they got some athletes and their quarterback plays got better. So T.R. Miller 1 seed, Hillcrest Evergreen 2 seed. I'm picking your 3 seed. I'm picking Flomaton. And your 4 seed, I'm picking Bayside Academy. So, T.R. Miller, Hillcrest Evergreen, Flomaton, Bayside Academy are my 4 playoff teams out of 3A Region 1. Moving over to 3A Region 2, we have Alabama Christian Academy, Houston Academy, Northside Methodist Academy, Prattville Christian Academy, Slocum, Montgomery Academy, Trinity Presbyterian, and Wicksburg. Now, T.R. Miller being Reeltown's Week 0 opponent, Trinity is going to be Reeltown's Week 1 opponent. So, that's 2 very formidable opponents for Reeltown. And spoiler alert, all of our non-region opponents come out of this classification. So, yeah, 4 really good football teams, too. But out of this region, I've got Trinity winning the region. I've got Houston Academy finishing 2nd. 3rd, I've got Montgomery Academy. And 4th, I've got Alabama Christian Academy. So that sets up our playoff matchups. Number 1 seed, T.R. Miller. 4 seed, Alabama Christian. I think T.R. Miller wins that game. 2 seed, Hillcrest Evergreen. 3 seed, Montgomery Academy. I think it'd be a pretty good game, but I've got Hillcrest Evergreen coming out in that one and winning. 2 seed Houston Academy, 3 seed Flomaton. I think Houston Academy wins that one. Houston Academy is going to be a really good football team this year. And then your number 1 seed Trinity taking on 4 seed Bayside Academy. I think it's going to be closer than a lot of people expect. But ultimately, I think Trinity wins that game. So all of your higher seeds advancing. Moving over to Region 3. This one's an interesting region. Just because it's so unpredictable. Out of Region 3, you got Dallas County, Greensboro, Hale County, Southside Selma, Sumter Central, Thomasville, Thorsby, and Wilcox Central. So, Southside Selma returns 2 really good receivers in Derek and Eric Smith, brothers. One is 6'6", one is 6'4". They replaced their quarterback, but to be honest, if you got twin towers to throw it up to, that might have. I didn't mean it like that, but like these guys tower over they're gonna tower over most defensive backs they go up against. I mean, you can just throw it up to them, and that especially Derek Smith, that guy turns a 50-50 ball into an 80-20 ball in his favor. I mean, he's ridiculous. Eric Smith is really good too, but so I've got Southside Selma winning the region. Actually, I think they're going to be your number 1 seed. Your number 2 seed, I've got Thomasville. Your number 3 seed, I've got Thorsby, and your number 4 seed, I got Hale County. So Southside Selma, Thomasville, Thorsby, Hale County are your 4 teams out of that region. Moving over to Region 4, BB Comer leads it off. They were in the 2A semifinals last year. Next up is Beulah. Beulah was in the playoffs last year. They were the number 4 seed. They got beat up pretty good by Mobile Christian. Number 3 seed Childersburg. Coach Johnny Johnson. I believe he's a really good coach. He's just been in really tough regions during his career. But will he get Childersburg over the hump this year? We'll see. Dadeville, who is Reeltown's week 5 opponent, maybe week 4 opponent. Glenwood School, Lee Scott Academy, Reeltown's final opponent of the year, and of the regular season at least, and Randolph County. This region is going to be tough to predict, but for your number 1 seed, I'm going with Randolph County. Your number 2 seed, I'm going with B.B. Comer. Number 3 seed, Lee Scott Academy. And your number 4 seed, I've got Dadeville. I think I've got Glenwood missing the playoff. That might be a bold prediction. Glenwood's going to be a pretty good football team too. And then for the playoffs, I've got number 1 seed Southside Selma taking on 4 seed Dadeville. It was the other way around 2 years ago. 2 years ago, Southside Selma was the 4 seed coming in to face a 1 seed Dadeville team. I've got Southside Selma beating Dadeville this time. Number 2 seed Thomasville taking on 3 seed Lee Scott Academy. I've got Thomasville beating Lee Scott. 2 seed B.B. Comer taking on 3 seed Thorsby. This was a region matchup last year. I've got B.B. Comer beating Thorsby. And 1 seed Randolph County taking on 4 seed Hale County. I've got Randolph County winning that one. So that is a preview of 3A South. 3A North, Region 5, you got Carbon Hill, Gordo, Hansville, Midfield, Oakman, Phil Campbell, Venamont, and Winfield. Out of this region, I've got Gordo finishing first, Winfield finishing second, Oakman finishing third, and I'm picking Hansville to finish fourth in the region. Moving over to Region 6. These are regions I don't know as much about. Glencoe, J.B. Pennington, Locust Fork, Ohatchee, Piedmont, Saxe, Walter Welborn, Weaver, and Westbrook Christian. Of course, Westbrook Christian, coached by legendary head coach Steve Smith, who I don't want to spoil. I don't know anything, and it is set in stone, but I'm trying to get a weekly show with Coach Steve Smith during the season on this channel. That would be really big. You know, he was open to the idea, so hopefully I'll be able to work something out. But out of this region, I've got Piedmont finishing first in the region. My number 2 seed, I've got Locust Fork. Locust Fork returns Dylan Embry, who was a great quarterback. They were the second highest scoring offense in the state last year. Number 3 seed, I've got Westbrook Christian. I think Coach Steve Smith's going to take them to the playoffs. And then your number 4 seed, I've got Walter Welborn finishing number 4. So, sets up 1 seed Gordo, 4 seed Walter Welborn. I've got Gordo winning. 2 seed Winfield, 3 seed Westbrook Christian. I've actually got Westbrook Christian winning. I think Coach Steve Smith could go on a deep playoff run this year if they make it. Got 2 seed Locust Fork taking on 3 seed Oakman, and I think Locust Fork wins that one. And then 1 seed Piedmont, 4 seed Hansville. I think Piedmont wins that one. So that leads me into Region 7. Clements, Colbert County, Colbert Heights, Elkmont, Lauderdale County, Mars Hill, Rogers, and Sheffield. Out of this region, I've got Mars Hill winning the region. I've got Lauderdale County finishing second, Colbert County finishing third, and Clements finishing fourth. Region 8, Fife moves up to 3A, but we've got Asbury, Brindley Mountain, Collinsville, and Fife, who both move up from 2A to 3A. Geraldine, Holly Pond, Sylvania, who lost their head coach to Scottsboro, and Whitesburg Christian Academy, who moves up from 2A to 3A. In this region, I've got Fife winning the region, Geraldine finishing second, Sylvania finishing third, and my number 4 seed is going to be Holly Pond. That sets up your playoff matchups. Mars Hill taking on Holly Pond. I've got Mars Hill winning. Lauderdale County taking on Sylvania. I've got Sylvania winning in their first year with their new head coach. I think this is Region 8's tough. Sylvania is still going to be a really good football team. 3 seed Colbert County, 2 seed Geraldine. I've got Geraldine winning. And 4 seed Clements taking on 1 seed Fife, and I've got Fife winning. And that leads me into my state championship picks. Out of And out of 3A South, I have the T.R. Miller Tigers making it to the state championship game. Out of 3A South. And out of 3A North, I'm picking Fife to once again be in the state championship game. I believe they are looking for state championship number 9, and I think they get it. They beat T.R. Miller in a very physical football game, but in the end, I think Fife ends up beating T.R. Miller. So I've got Fife beating T.R. Miller for the 3A state title. Fife wins their 9th state title. Now we're getting into Class 4A. Class 4A is going to be really interesting. And my state championship game might surprise a lot of people because it's 2 teams that nobody seems to be talking about. And I've been streaming for almost an hour now, and we're only on 4A. So yeah, like I said, we're going to be here a while. But 4A Region 1, Escambia County, Jackson, Mobile Christian, who's the defending 3A state champion, moving up to 4A. Orange Beach, Satsuma, St. Michael Catholic, and W.S. Neal. My picks out of this region, I've got Mobile Christian winning the region. I've got Jackson finishing 2nd. No, swap that. I've got Jackson winning the region. Mobile Christian finishing 2nd. My number 3 seed is going to be St. Michael Catholic, led by former NFL quarterback Phillip Rivers. And my number 4 seed, it's going to come down to Orange Beach, Orange Beach, and W.S. Neal. I'm actually picking Orange Beach to make the playoffs in year 1 under Wade Waldrop. Wade, of course, the former Hoover coach. So I've got Orange Beach finishing as the number 4 seed. Jackson, led by Landon Duckworth, is the number 1 seed. Mobile Christian, led by Damian Gaston at quarterback, is the number 2 seed. He's really good. Mobile Christian's still going to be a really good team, but Ronnie Cottrell leaving. That's why I went with Jackson, who has the more experienced head coach, is the number 1 seed. And then you got St. Michael Catholic, led by Gunnar Ripple. You've got some really good quarterbacks in this region. I don't know who Orange Beach's quarterback is. I think W.S. Neal had a pretty good quarterback last year that's returning too. So, like I said, you got some really good quarterbacks in this region. This is a loaded region too. I think there's legitimately 3 teams. Maybe there's legitimately 5 teams that are, 6 teams that can compete for a playoff spot. And I legitimately think there's 4 teams right there that can compete for the number 1 seed in this region. That might be a little bit of a bold statement, but I'm going to stick with it. Region 2, this region is a little bit weaker. Not to say these teams are bad, it's just not at nowhere. Like when you compare it to Region 1, this region is not as strong. You've got Ashford, Dale County, Daleville, Geneva, New Brockton, Opp, Pike County, and Strawn. Strawn, I believe, is breaking in a new coach. They had a really successful season last year, but I think they've got a brand new coach. But your number 1 seed out of this region, I'm picking Pike County with their 20 seniors to win the region. Your number 2 seed, I've got Opp. Your number 3 seed, I've got Strawn. And your number 4 seed, I'm picking Geneva. That sets up our playoff matchups. Number 1 seed, Jackson. Number 4 seed, Geneva. I think Jackson wins that one. 2 seed, Mobile Christian. 3 seed, Strawn. I think Mobile Christian wins that one. 3 seed, St. Michael Catholic. 2 seed, Opp. I've got St. Michael Catholic beating Opp. And then I've got 4 seed, Orange Beach. 1 seed, Pike County. I think Pike County wins the game, but I think I'm not entirely confident on that pick. I feel like Region 2 is a candidate to possibly get swept in the first round of the playoffs because Region 1 is so tough. Moving over to Region 3, we've got Booker T. Washington out of Tuskegee, Bullock County, Cleburne County, however you say it, Hanley, Munford, St. James, Talladega, and Tallahassee. Out of this region, I've got Hanley as your 1 seed, St. James as your 2 seed, Tallahassee is your number 3 seed, and Booker T. Washington is your number 4 seed. And I could go in a lot more depth. St. James with new coach Aubrey Blackwell, Tallahassee with new coach L.A. O'Neal. Two fantastic coaches, and I think they're both going to take these teams to the playoffs year one. Region 4, American Christian Academy, Bibb County, Fairfield, Holt, Oak Grove, Pleasant Grove, Tarrant, not sure how to pronounce that one, and West Blockton. And that sets up your first round matchups. 1 seed Handley, 4 seed. I gotta pick the region order. Your number 1 seed, I've got Pleasant Grove winning Region 4. I've got Bibb County as your number 2 seed. I've got American Christian as your number 3 seed. And then your number 4 seed, I've got West Blockton. Out of this region, I've got Handley over West Blockton, number 1 seed versus 4 seed. I've got 2 seed St. James beating 3 seed American Christian. 3 seed Tallahassee, 2 seed Bibb County. That's a tough one. But I think Bibb County ends up beating Tallahassee. And then Pleasant Grove beats Booker T. Washington as the 1 seed over the 4 seed. So that does it for 4A South. 4A North, Region 5, Cordova, Curry, Dora, Fayette County, Fultondale, Good Hope, Haleyville, and Hamilton. Once again, a region that I don't think is all that strong. But I've got Dora winning the region. I think Fultondale finishing... No, I'm going to go with Good Hope as number 2. Fultondale is 3, and Fayette County is number 4 in the region. Region 6, this is a tough region right here. Alexandria, Anniston, Asheville, Cherokee County, Etowah, Hoax Bluff, Aniana, and White Plains. I've got Cherokee County winning the region. I've got Anniston finishing 2nd. I've got Aniana at 3rd, and I've got Alexandria at number 4. That sets up your playoff matchup. 1 seed Dora, 4 seed Alexandria. I've got Alexandria beating Dora. 2 seed Good Hope, 3 seed Aniana. I've got Aniana. 3 seed Fultondale, 2 seed Anniston. I've got Anniston. And 1 seed Cherokee County, 4 seed Fayette County. I've got Cherokee County. Moving over to Region 7. Brooks, Central Florence, Danville, Deschler, East Lawrence, Hatton, who moves up 2 classifications. West Limestone, West Morgan, and Wilson. I think West Morgan wins this region. I've got Brooks at number 2, Deschler at number 3, and Central Florence at number 4. Moving over to Region 8, you got Kate Duncan Smith, DAR, Madison Academy, the defending 3A state runner-up, moving up to 4A also. Madison County, New Hope, North Jackson, Plainview, Randolph, St. John Paul II Catholic, and Westminster Christian Academy. Madison Academy, I've got them winning the region. Number 2 seed, I've got New Hope. Number 3 seed, I've got North Jackson. And your number 4 seed, I've got Westminster Christian. So that sets up number 1 seed West Morgan, number 4 seed Westminster Christian. I've got West Morgan winning that one. I think West Morgan's still going to be putting up points this year. 2 seed Brooks taking on 3 seed North Jackson. I've got Brooks winning. Number 3 seed, or number 2 seed New Hope taking on 3 seed Deschler. I think Deschler wins that game. And then 1 seed Madison Academy taking on 4 seed Central Florence. I've got Madison Academy. Now, we could very well get a rematch of the 3A state championship in the 4A state championship this year. But I don't think that's going to happen. My pick out of 4A North or 4A South is a team that nobody seems to be talking about them. They're moving down from 5A. They've been at least in the quarterfinals for the last 6 years, I believe. I've got Pleasant Grove coming out of 4A North, and Region 6 features Cherokee County and Anniston. It's a very tough region, and I think that's going to be your semifinal matchup out of 4A. Anniston and Cherokee County. I'm picking Anniston to upset Cherokee County, and I'm picking a Pleasant Grove Anniston state championship, which will be a rematch of a regular season game they play. They actually play in the regular season. And I've got Pleasant Grove winning your 4A state title. Pleasant Grove over Anniston. I think both times, to be honest. I think Pleasant Grove gets them both times. So that's your 4A state championship game. Pleasant Grove and Anniston, two teams that are more north than south. But yeah, I've got Pleasant Grove beating Anniston for your 4A state title. Moving over to Class 5A. Region 1, you got BC Rain, Citronelle, Alberta, Faith Academy, LaFleur, UMS Wright, Viger, and Williamson. Out of this region, I know Viger just lost their head coach, but they've still got a ton of talent. I've still got Viger finishing as your number 1 seed out of this region. 2 seed UMS Wright, they're led by Terry Curtis. I'm not counting that man out. Number 3 seed, I've got Williamson, and your number 4 seed, I got BC Rain. I've got Faith Academy missing the playoffs in year 1 under Coach Eric Speakman. I know they lose a ton. New head coach, I just think I've got them missing the playoffs, and I hate to do that because I like Faith Academy, but I've got them missing the playoffs. Moving over to Region 2, Andalusia moving up from 4A to 5A. Carroll of Ozark, Charles Henderson, Eufaula, Greenville, Headland, and Montgomery Catholic, who was in 3A in 2020, has moved all the way up to 5A in 2024. Out of this region, I've got Montgomery Catholic winning the region. I've got Eufaula finishing 2nd. I've got Andalusia finishing 3rd. And I've got Charles Henderson as your number 4 seed. Sets up your playoff matchups. 1 seed Viger, 4 seed Charles Henderson. It's going to be a tough. It's tough because I like Coach Quinn Hamwright, and I think that Charles Henderson's a really good team. I just think Viger just has too much talent. Viger gets the win. 2 seed UMS Wright taking on 3 seed Andalusia. These two are very familiar with each other. Andalusia got UMS Wright last time. I just think UMS Wright's going to get them back this time. UMS Wright, 3 seed Williamson, 2 seed Eufaula. I think this is going to be this would be a fantastic game. I've actually got Williamson beating Eufaula. Williamson's loaded. They're just in a very tough region. And 1 seed Montgomery Catholic, 4 seed BC Rain. I've got Montgomery Catholic winning that game. Moving over to Region 3. This is one of the... Once again, you always got 1 or 2 of the weaker regions in a classification. And in this case, this is one of those regions, if there is another one, which there is. Region 3, Demopolis, Jemison, Montevallo, Northside. Montevallo and Northside both moving up from 4A. Selma, Shelby County, and Sipsey Valley, who moves up from 4A. I've got Demopolis winning the region. I've got Montevallo finishing 2nd. I've got Selma at number 3, and I've got Northside at number 4. So Demopolis, Montevallo, Selma, Northside are my 4 playoff teams out of this region. Region 4, Beauregard, Central of Clay County, Elmore County, Holtville, Marbury, Sylacauga, and Valley. I've got Clay Central winning the region. My number 2 seed is going to be Valley. My number 3 seed is going to be Elmore County, and my number 4 seed is going to be Beauregard. Set up the matchups. 1 seed Demopolis, 4 seed Beauregard. I've got Beauregard beating Demopolis. Beauregard pulls off the upset. 3 seed Elmore County, 2 seed Montevallo. Give me Elmore County. 2 seed Valley, 3 seed Selma. Give me Valley. And 1 seed Clay Central, 4 seed Northside. Give me Clay Central. So I think Region 4 sweeps Region 3. That concludes 5A South. We went through it pretty quickly. 5A North, Briarwood Christian, Corner, GW Carver out of Birmingham, Hayden, John Carroll Catholic, Ramsey, and Winona. I've got your 1 seed being Ramsey, your 2 seed being Briarwood Christian, your 3 seed being John Carroll Catholic, and your 4 seed being Carver out of Birmingham. Region 6, Centerpoint, Jacksonville, Leeds, Lincoln, Moody, Springville, and St. Clair County. I've got your 1 seed being Moody, your 2 seed being Centerpoint, your 3 seed being Leeds, and your number 4 seed being Jacksonville. That sets up your playoff matchups. 1 seed Ramsey, 4 seed Jacksonville. I've got Ramsey winning that one. 2 seed Briarwood Christian, 3 seed Leeds. I think it'd be a fantastic game. I've got Briarwood Christian. 2 seed Centerpoint taking on 3 seed John Carroll Catholic. I've got Centerpoint winning that one. And 1 seed Moody taking on 4 seed Carver out of Birmingham. I've got Moody winning that one. Region 7, Ardmore, East Limestone, Fairview, Lawrence County, Priceville, Russellville, and West Point. I've got 1 seed Russellville, 2 seed Priceville, 3 seed Lawrence County, or 3 seed Fairview, and 4 seed Lawrence County is my picks for that region. Region 8, AP Brewer, Arab, Boaz, Douglas, Gunnersville, Sardis, and Scottsboro. I've got Gunnersville winning the region. I've got Scottsboro in year 1 under their new head coach, Tyler Van from Sylvania. I've got Scottsboro finishing 2nd in the region. 3 seed, I've got Arab. And, well, Arab, don't they have a mess going on there? I think there's something. I think there was something going on at Arab that I can't get into because YouTube would probably shut me down. Give me Boaz as number 3 seed. And then your number 4 seed, I'm honestly going to go with Sardis as your number 4 seed. So, because I'm not entirely, I think there's something going on with the head coach at Arab. I don't know for sure, though. Let me look it up. Well, no, Lee Osmond is not there at Arab anymore. So yeah, give me Arab as the number 4 seed anyway over Sardis. So to recap, Gunnersville, Scottsboro, Boaz, Arab is your top 4 seeds. And then 1 seed Russellville taking on 4 seed Arab. Give me Russellville in that game. 2 seed Priceville taking on 3 seed Boaz. Give me Boaz. Boaz is I think they have a chance to go on a deep run this year. 2 seed Scottsboro taking on 3 seed Fairview. Give me Scottsboro. Coach Tyler Van in his first year gets a playoff win in his first year at his new program. 1 seed Gunnersville taking on 4 seed Lawrence County. I think Gunnersville wins that one. And my picks for the state championship coming out of 5A South, I've got Montgomery Catholic coming out of 5A South. And then I've got Ramsey coming out of 5A North. And I think Montgomery Catholic beats Ramsey to win the 5A state championship. And I will recap all these state championship matchups and winners at the end. That's 5A. Moving over to 6A. 6A Region 1, Baldwin County, Gulf Shores, Blount, McGill-Tulin, Murphy, Saraland, Spanish Fort, St. Paul's, and Theodore. I've got Saraland winning the region. I've got Gulf Shores as your number 2 seed. I've got Spanish Fort as your number 3 seed. And I've got St. Paul's as your number 4. No, Theodore as your number 4 seed. I think St. Paul's actually misses the playoffs this year. Region 2, Park Crossing, Percy Julian, Pike Road, Rehoboth, Russell County, Stanhope Elmore, and Wetumpka. I've got Pike Road winning the region. My number 2 seed, I'm going with Wetumpka. My number 3 seed, I'm going with Russell County. And my number 4 seed, I'm going Stanhope Elmore. That sets up number 1 seed Saraland, number 4 Stanhope Elmore. I think Saraland wins that one. 2 seed Gulf Shores, 3 seed Russell County. I think Gulf Shores wins that one. Then you got 3 seed Spanish Fort taking on 2 seed Wetumpka. I think I've got Spanish Fort winning that one. 1 seed Pike Road, 4 seed Theodore. I don't think it's going to be easy for Pike Road, but I've got Pike Road beating Theodore. Moving over to Region 3, Benjamin Russell, Calera, Chelsea, Chilton County, Helena, Pelham, and Spain Park. I've actually got Spain Park winning this region this year. Number 2 seed Helena, number 3 seed Benjamin Russell, and your number 4 seed I've got Chilton County becoming your number 4 seed. So those are my top 4 teams from Region 3. Region 4, Bessemer City, Brookwood, Central Tuscaloosa, Hueytown, McAdory, Northridge, and Paul W. Bryant. I've got Hueytown winning the region. I've got Central Tuscaloosa finishing 2nd, Bessemer City finishing 3rd, and McAdory finishing 4th. That sets up 1 seed Spain Park, 4 seed McAdory. I've got Spain Park. 2 seed Helena, 3 seed Bessemer City. I've got Helena. 3 seed Benjamin Russell taking on 2 seed Central Tuscaloosa. I've got Benjamin Russell. 1 seed Hueytown taking on 4 seed Chilton County. I've got Hueytown winning that one. And that's 6A South. Pretty straightforward right there. 6A North. You got Parker in Region 5. Gardendale, Homewood, Minor, or Menor. I don't know how to say that one. Mortimer Jordan, Jackson Nolan, and Woodlawn. I've got Parker winning that region. I've got Homewood finishing 2nd. I've got Mortimer Jordan finishing 3rd. And I've got Gardendale finishing 4th. Region 6, Clay Chalkville, Huffman, Mountain Brook, Oxford, Pell City, Pinson Valley, Shades Valley. The most interesting story out of this region is, will Huffman win a playoff game? Huffman didn't score a single point last year, if you guys didn't know. 0-10 without scoring a single point all year. I think they're going to score some points this year, and I think they're going to get a win in the first week over Columbia, who we'll get to in a little bit. But that's it. But my 4 playoff teams out of this region: Clay Chalkville is number 1 seed, Oxford is 2 seed, Mountain Brook is 3 seed, and I've got Pell City making the playoffs even after Rush Probst resigned. Pell City gets the number 4 seed under Coach Nick Gentry. Sets up your playoff matchups. Parker versus Pell City in round 1. I've got Parker winning that one. Then you got 2 seed Homewood taking on 3 seed Mountain Brook in the first round. I can't remember. I think they play in the regular season. We'll look this up. I think they play in the regular season, actually. It'd be interesting if they matched up in the playoffs. They do play in the regular season. I think Mountain Brook probably wins both matchups. Give me Mountain Brook. 2 seed Oxford, 3 seed Mortimer Jordan. I think Oxford's going to win that one. Oxford might have something to say in 6A this year. 1 seed Clay Chalkville, 4 seed Gardendale. Give me Clay Chalkville. Moving over to Region 7, Athens, Columbia, who currently holds the longest losing streak in the state of Alabama, I believe. Coleman, Decatur, Hartselle, who lost their head coach to a team that we will talk about later on. Jasper, and Muscle Shoals. Muscle Shoals wins this region. Give me Athens to finish 2nd. Give me Hartselle at number 3, and give me Decatur at number 4. Region 8, Buckhorn, Fort Payne, Gadsden City, Hazel Green, Lee, May Jemison, Lee of Huntsville, by the way, and Southside Gadsden. Give me Gadsden City to win the region, Fort Payne to finish 2nd, Southside Gadsden, give me May Jemison at number 3, and Southside Gadsden at number 4. Southside Gadsden replacing their coach, their head coach. Their head coach went to a school that we'll talk about later. Playoff matchups. Number 1 seed Muscle Shoals, 4 seed Gadsden, Southside Gadsden. I've got Muscle Shoals. 2 seed Athens taking on 3 seed Mae Jemison. Give me Mae Jemison. Coach Rico White is a heck of a football coach. I'm taking Mae Jemison to beat Athens. Mae Jemison wins a playoff game. 2 seed Fort Payne, 3 seed Hartselle. I still think Hartsel's going to be pretty good. Give me Hartselle over Fort Payne. And then 1 seed Gadsden City taking on 4 seed Decatur. I've got Gadsden City. So, coming out of 6A South, a lot of people are talking about Saraland. See, I want to be bold. I want to be a little bit bold. I've got Gulf Shores coming out of 6A South. Gulf Shores headed to the state championship in 6A. 6A North. I think the semifinals comes down to Parker and Oxford. I think Parker's going to win. So give me a Parker Gulf Shores state championship game, and I've got Parker beating Gulf Shores for the 6A state championship. Parker over Gulf Shores. Now moving over to Class 7A. Region 1, Alma Bryant, Baker, Daphne, Davidson, Fairhope, Foley, Mary G. Montgomery, and Robertsdale. I don't know why I'm going to say Robertsdale County. I have no idea why I'm going to say Robertsdale County. Baker, under first-year coach Juan Johnson. Mary G. Montgomery, of course, has Zach Golson. I've got Mary G. Montgomery and Baker as your number 1 and 2 seed, respectively. Number 3 seed, give me Daphne. And number 4 seed, give me Fairhope. No, give me Davison as your 4 seed, actually. They've got that really good running back. Region 2, Auburn, Carver of Montgomery, Central Phoenix City, Dothan, Enterprise, Jag, Opelika, and Smith Station. Opelika, of course, has brand new head coach Brian Moore, who comes over from Hartselle, and I watched their spring game, and they were dominant. They did well in the trenches against Clay Chaltville. They just look like a much more physical team. So out of this region, give me Central Phoenix City as your 1 seed, Auburn as your 2 seed. Give me Opelika as your number 3 seed. And your 4 seed is going to come down to Carver, Montgomery, Dothan, and Enterprise. This is tough. This is really tough. Carver has a lot of depth. They had 177 players come out for summer workouts. Give me Enterprise to make the playoffs as your number 4 seed. Bobby Carr won't make it in his first year, but next year he very well could. Give me Enterprise. Region 3, Hewitt-Trussville, Hillcrest, Tuscaloosa, Hoover, Oak Mountain, Prattville, Thompson, Tuscaloosa County, who has former Southside Gadsden head coach Miles Holcomb, and Vestavia Hills. Out of this region, give me Thompson as your number 1 seed, Hillcrest, Tuscaloosa as your 2 seed. Give me Vestavia Hills as your number 3 seed. And your number 4 seed, give me Hoover. Drew Gilmer takes Hoover to the playoffs as the number 4 seed. So, no, Miles Holcomb and Tuscaloosa County will miss the playoffs in year 1 in my prediction. And also, you've got Hewitt-Trussville, who's been one of the better teams in the region, missing the playoffs as well. I mean, they lose Juan Johnson, the offensive coordinator. They lose their quarterback, Josh Floyd. I mean, they still got talent, but this is just a really tough region. And I just don't see Hoover missing the playoffs, especially under a proven head coach like Drew Gilmer, who was the state championship winning head coach. I forgot to mention Clay Chaltville, who replaced him with a really good coach in Stuart Floyd, the offensive coordinator. But yeah. Region 4, Albertville, Austin, Bob Jones, Florence, Grissom, Huntsville, James Clemens, and Sparkman. Give me James Clemens to win the region, Austin to finish 2nd, Bob Jones to finish 3rd, and Florence to finish 4th. And that sets up the playoff matchups. You got Region 1 going against Region 3. 1 seed Mary G. Montgomery, 4 seed Hoover. It's going to be a battle. Give me Mary G. Montgomery to beat Hoover, and that would be massive for Region 1. Then you got your 2 seed Baker taking on 3 seed Vestavia Hills. Coach Juan Johnson, I think, gets it done over Vestavia Hills. I mean, he's very familiar with Vestavia, being the offensive coordinator at Hewitt-Trussville. I think Baker gets the win. So 2 teams out of Region 1 advance. 2 seed Hillcrest Tuscaloosa taking on 3 seed Daphne. I've got Hillcrest winning. And Thompson taking on Davidson. I've got Thompson winning. So 2 teams out of Region 1 make it. Can any teams out of Region 4 advance, though? 1 seed, or you got 1 seed Central Phoenix City taking on 4 seed Florence. I think Central wins that one. 2 seed Auburn taking on 3 seed Bob Jones. A rematch that they played a couple of years ago in the regular season. I've got Auburn. 3 seed Opelika taking on 2 seed Austin. I've got the Opelika Bulldogs winning, not only getting to the playoffs, but winning a playoff game in Coach Brian Moore's first year. 4 seed Enterprise, 1 seed James Clemens. It's going to come down to James Clemens to possibly finally get Region 4 a playoff win, and I think Enterprise beats James Clemens. My state championship game is the same state championship game everybody's got in this classification, Central Phoenix City and Thompson, and I've got Thompson getting their revenge on Central Phoenix City in the state championship game. So, to recap from each classification before I get off of here, I've got in 1A, Elba over Wadley in the state championship game in 1A. 2A, I've got Reeltown over Coosa Christian in 2A. 3A, I've got Fife over T.R. Miller in 3A. 4A, I've got Pleasant Grove over Anniston in 4A. 5A, I've got Montgomery Catholic over Ramsey in 5A. 6A, I've got Parker over Gulf Shores in 6A. And 7A, I've got Thompson over Central Phoenix City in 7A. So 1A, I've got Elvis. So the first 2 classifications, I got South. Fife from the north in 3A. So that's 2-1 South. See, 4A, Pleasant Grove is actually a South team. So 3-1 South. 4A, or 5A, Montgomery Catholic. So 4-1 South. And then I've got Parker on top. So I've got 4 South teams winning and 3 North teams winning. So I've got the South taking the the South has more state championship games or state championship teams than the North this year. Which last year it was Leroy, Fife, Mobile Christian, Montgomery Catholic, Gulf Shores, Clay Chalkville, and Central Phoenix. Last year it was 5-2 South. So this year I think it's a little bit closer. It's 4-3. It's as close as it can get. But with that being said, I'm going to hop off of here, guys. I got to get ready. I'm going swimming tonight, so going either to the lake or the creek. I don't know yet, but yeah, I'm going swimming. So, but thank y'all for watching, and peace out, everybody. I'll be back. If not this week, I'm gonna try to get a coach on this week for a video or a stream. I don't know. I might live stream. But yeah. Thank y'all for watching. Peace out, everybody.